Thank you very much, sir.
2031. There you are. Thank you. And you wanted these two also? We have over 550 different kinds of sodas, we have over 550 different kinds of beer, and we have a lot of candies, old candies that you probably haven't seen in 50 years.
Kelly, take order in the house, and she's going to be on the highway to the company that's at lane level 1.
Place itself the original recipes,
People come in and they ask for things, and we have the Manhattan specials from Brooklyn. They're probably one of the oldest bottlers in the country. They date back to 1895, and everything they do is done the old-fashioned way. For example, when they make a coffee soda, which was their very first soda, they actually roast the coffee beans, brew the coffee, and then make it from brewed coffee. They don't use a flavor. That's one of them in particular, and everything they do is real. If they can't get their sodas on the shelf to sell, you're never going to know about them, number one. I mean, I had a little bottler explain to me, he said, well, we used to have a flavor line of 14 flavors, but now we only make one. And I said, Paul, what happened? And he says, well, you know, the big guys kind of squeezed us off the shelf, and we can't get on to sell our sodas. And that's basically what happened. The big guys buy the supermarket shelf space for the highest price, and then they squeeze everybody off. So we don't have choices anymore. Okay, you had a case of Dublin Dr. Pepper?
One case.
Okay, fine. I needed one bottle.
The taste is different than any other Dr. Pepper I've ever tried, and you know, using the real sugar in it really makes a difference. So, you know, drinking it out of glass rather than plastic, I find it's worth it to come down when I can. And when I found out that we may not be able to get Dublin Dr. Pepper anymore, I figured it's worth the trip to come down and see if they still had some, and to my surprise, they did.
You can go to any supermarket and get kind of the same thing. Like, this is pretty unique. Like, you're never going to be able to get sodas from 100 years ago that they don't make anymore. Like, the only place you can get some of these sodas is like at tiny breweries in like the middle of nowhere, and that's not something you really get at other supermarkets.
A lot of people come to Los Angeles and all they really know about is they're going to go take a tour of the stars' homes and they're going to walk the Walk of Fame, and they don't realize there's a lot more dimension here and that there are people who live here and this is actually the place they call home, just like where you came from. And LA is kind of like a big hot mess of a TJ Maxx in a way. It's a place where there's a lot of people, there's a lot of stuff, but if you lift up something you might find an amazing treasure.